as we start this. We're gonna start with our dad.
Yep. Oh, that was a good clap too.
Howdy.
Guys, this is not gonna get old. I need y'all to see this now and know that this is gonna be his new look.
So we are in Dallas, Texas, because I'm over here visiting, as we know, the famous Tyler. And it's crazy. I feel like, starting off with us doing the podcast in the very beginning, you're over in Texas, and like just overall, bro, like us growing up as men, and like you've been here already for 3 years.
3 years this August. 3 years this August already.
Yeah. So I feel like we always have those conversations, but talking about like what it does it mean to express yourself as a man, right? Like I feel like, I'm 27 right now, and there are a lot of experiences in life that humbles you, that makes you think about, okay, damn, like, what is it that I have to do in order for me to be this better version of myself, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I want to start with like comparison, because I think with social media and even in my experience, like going about our daily lives, you could kind of look at the adult life as a more extended branch of college in a way, and like even a little bit of high school, where like now you're starting over again, having to create your new neighborhood or network of people, and having to, really see what are your interests and having to get around, and how do you upkeep with yourself. And expressing myself, at least in my time there in Dallas, like, I've learned how to be alone, but then I've also learned how to reserve myself too much, and that I feel like is attached to pride.
Yeah, I think it's just sometimes we have these like societal expectations, like we see what other people are doing or what we've been conditioned or what we've been around, and like we then adopt those behaviors and those things, and it's just like, how can I really have the balance of what I see and what I believe in? Because a lot of times like we adopt other people's beliefs. And I mean, overall, bro, like I think it's crazy. Everybody's experiences is different, and I think just overall, like, especially expressing yourself as a man, it's so hard, right? Because with so much of the societal expectations and what it is to quote quote be a man, you sometimes rethink like, oh, am I being too dramatic? And am I not, being this strong person? Am I not strong enough? Am I enough? And it's like, to be honest, like everybody has emotions. Like, what do you expect me not to express myself?
I mean, I would hope you do, because at that point you're just,
Right.
You're a robot.
Yeah. Bebop.
Binky bonky bonky. And something I wanted to add to that is the identity that gets lost. I feel
Yep.
that we put on this mask, like, we just have to figure it out and do it no matter what. And we get so used to putting that mask on that, going back to when I brought up reserving myself so much, I'm communicating with myself directly, so that means I could be out of touch with socializing with people. Because yeah, it's one thing to have like, your typical how's the weather going, but then it's like actually having in-depth conversations or even asking a question. My dialect could be fairly off to somebody else, and that may be too direct or maybe too indirect. So it's like, how do I balance or be able to at least dictate, okay, like, when can I communicate this? Are my social cues still like fresh? Because you can lose touch of that. Like the more that you don't use something, the weaker it gets, and now you can't use it as well as you did because you're not using it anymore. So yeah, I definitely think like there's a mask that we put on, and just wanted to be the guy that could do everything, so that way you could be reliable. People could,
to be honest,
towards you to rely on.
I remember thinking for myself about like, you just gotta be honest. You know what I mean? And I think that's like the number one step, and that can be the most dramatic thing, because a lot of times when it comes to the thing that makes us feel settling or bothered or whatever it is, especially when it has to do with someone else, it's like we don't want to express ourselves because we don't want to look like a kind of person or that type. And it's like, can we have the vulnerability to express ourselves as a human being, right? Because like we're not human doings, right? It's not about what we do, it's just how we be. And I think a lot of times when it's like when we have emotions, it's like you need to be able to go through the emotion. And of course, like your reaction is the most important, but also going through it and acknowledging that, you're just in an emotional state. at that time. And so like, don't be so hard on yourself when it comes to like you being in your emotions. And I think like it's crazy how society makes you be like, oh, stop being in your feelings. And it's like, man, I need to be in my feelings so I can know what's going on. Where's this coming from? You know what I mean? And I think it's humbling to really go within and ask yourself really uncomfortable questions.
Oh, like, and I wanna state, like, we're gonna get very transparent right now. And there was a time during my time here that I had to grow up a lot, and it taught me so much that I basically sheltered myself in, became a workaholic. I was just working all the time and didn't really want to talk about what was really bothering me, and I isolated myself. And it got to a point where like I didn't even realize what it is that was wrong with me, because like I was just doing so much that I never had the time to stop and slow down. And when I do come honest with myself to approach what's wrong with me, it's difficult because I don't want to deal with it.
Yo.
I'll be honest about that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with it because
Crazy.
I know what confronting it would be like, and how now I have to actually like address this problem. That's another thing. Being a man in your 20s, you become aware of so many things, and you have to be able to read the room, read body language, and look out for so many things that one mistake can make you feel like crap, because like you're supposed to be on your P's and Q's. And I don't think it's highlighted enough when we become our harshest critic. I think everybody's their own harshest critic, but like as a guy, when you just want to be great and you don't even have an example of that, so you're making more mistakes to find the success because you didn't have an example to lead you through there. And I'm not saying this in a way as if that's an excuse. I'm saying this because there are plenty of guys that don't have the actual example or even have the community or surroundings to be something that's bigger than them. And that's where a lot of guys, and I could only speak for myself, but now Angel being here for a week, I could say like, had I not come out here, I don't think I would have made the progress that I need that was necessary. Yes, there was humps that I had to go through. Did they suck? Yes, in the moment, but I got my apartment.
Yep. Got you a car.
Got my car.
Bugatti.
Yeah, all right. one day, but Corvette.
Okay.
Right. Corvette.
I like it.
But like, I was able to achieve certain things to make meaning here, and I still have to appreciate that more, because there are days where I don't feel like that, where I'm like, bro, I don't feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be at.
Bro, it's like I was telling you before, like we've had a lot of a conversation about just life, bro. Life just be lifing, but it is why you just want to be able to figure it out. And everything that you did leading to this point, you figured it out. You know what I mean? Like, no, you don't know anybody that did this. You just was like, you know what, I'm gonna go do it, and risked it to be able to put yourself in that position. You figured it out, bro. And like, look at us here on a podcast talking about life. You know what I mean? And I think this is my 6th day here. I leave tomorrow.
Crazy, man.
Yo, time be flying, bro.
Man, look, when I tell you, I have barely touched my phone. Like, I've mainly grabbed my phone to be, look, I'm gonna tell you this right now, side hobby might be pictures, because the pictures this man is gonna post. Like when I tell you, the pictures he's gonna post, you guys are gonna enjoy that. And just like
in the moment,
just like my Instagram handle, in Ty's Vision, you're gonna see what I see. And I couldn't have used this vacation any more than I could have used days off that I've requested, because I was working so much. I really appreciate Angel coming out here, not only coming to see me, but then also, it was just, we really needed this together. We haven't seen each other for almost 3 years. So, or at least in a yes and no, we did see each other because I visited, Springfield, family connections and stuff like that. Yeah. But, no, it's actually like us hanging out, having time together, like, and then and work not being involved. Like, this is very much needed. And every day, every hour, every second, every minute has been used up graciously and expeditiously.
And I will also say, bro, if you never came out here, I would have never got a cowboy hat.
Oh my God.
Howdy.
Hey, at Buc-ee's.
Yo, at Buc-ee's, yeah. I've learned so much of the culture out here, and there's so many options. And I mean, like, it's just great to like experience things, because I mean, we are people that have to experience it. Like, you can tell me, like you've been telling me, but it's different when I'm actually here and doing it with you. So like, overall, bro, like, it was definitely well needed for us to have like a good episode, just to let people know like where we're at, but also just what we believe in, especially like as man, about expressing yourself, figuring things out, and like at the end of the day, you just have to express yourself and just be honest. And if that has to do with someone else, you have to have a conversation with it. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. It's actually harder to hold it back and not say anything than actually say something and figure it out, because that's really what it's all about. Bars. But we hope you guys are listening, and that something has resonated with you. If you haven't subscribed already on your favorite podcast platform, make sure you do so. We're on every podcast platform. And honestly, until next time, you guys be easy. Peace.
Stay easy, stay breezy, and one step at a time. Bye.